Boom, and we live. Welcome to the
Sweet.
podcast, Mosai Fitness Coaching. We are with a special guest in here, my client Suraj. And yeah, man, thank you for coming on here. It's great to have you on. We're gonna have a nice
Thanks
chat.
for thanks for having me.
No, my
Yeah.
pleasure, man. Just tell everyone a little bit about yourself. What do you do, and how did you get started? Things like that.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. So, my name's Suraj, from like West London, and I'm a software developer at Sky. So mainly got like a desk job. Like I'm literally just I live on my chair basically. Like most of the time just working on a laptop, and it's you know, you haven't got a lot of time to, go out and exercise and all this sort of stuff with this sort of job. So it's quite difficult to work on nutrition and on your body when you're like always constantly studying and working and stuff in it. So it's good. I do enjoy it, but I realized it's important to work on yourself as well, and that's how I sort of got into this fitness coaching by Mo, and it's been really good so far, to be honest with you. And within about 3 months, I'm already seeing transformations, which I actually didn't really believe was possible. But I can, I've never done something like this before, and in the past I have tried and it hasn't worked, but I've realized there is a formula to it, and it's about being able to execute this formula, and then that's how you see results. And the great thing is I've been able to fit this sort of workout and nutrition around my own lifestyle, which is great. And it's definitely a good like mindset shift, which which helps me achieve this.
Nice, man. Nice. I mean, you've been crushing it. Honestly, you've been crushing. You've
Just,
been executing very well. So well done on that. I remember when you first came. You were skinny, and you're like, "Yo, man, I want to get big." Like, I got you, bro. Don't worry. So yeah, you've come a long way, man. And you've been executing a lot, and yeah, man. So what's I mean, you mentioned this a bit, but I'd like to know a little bit more as well. Like, what made you want to truly commit to this, right? Like, what made you want to commit to
yeah,
something and then go
yeah.
for it?
At the end of the day, like we've only got one life, and I'm thinking I want to have the best body I can have, and you're only sort of young once, and I realize it's probably going to be easier while I'm in my 20s to do something like this, because I realize as life goes on, you've got more and more stresses in the future in it. So now is the time. It's always there's no point ever waiting for something to happen. It's about taking the plunge and committing now. And the idea is once I get into these sort of habits now, then I'll have them for life,
Mm,
and I'll be able to keep this up and be consistent. To so the idea is I want to have probably even better body, even than I am now in a couple of years time, and I'm hoping I'll be in great shape even when I'm 30 and 40.
mm,
Is the idea, but there's no point waiting till I'm that age to sort of do this sort of thing. But yeah, no, I just want to look good, feel good, go over to the beach and stuff, and like just be confident in my body and stuff like this in it, because this is something I never really have been. I'm always like seeing other people, and I'm thinking, how the hell did they do that? So it's and I'm actually I can't believe it now. I'm looking at myself now. I'm like really happy so far with the results, and I'm feeling a lot more confident with it basically. So
yeah.
that's the sort of, yeah, the driving forces.
Nice, man. Yeah, and look, you look at people and you're like, how is this even possible? And then when
Mm.
you do it, you realize, oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Is that all I need to do?
exactly.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it is that truly
Mm.
anyone can do this. This is one of those things that it's instinctively within you, right? We as humans are supposed to be fit. Your body's designed so that you are fit, and you know you just need to. It's unfortunate, like you said. We spend most of our, even me, bro. Like I spend most of my time on a chair in front of a computer, right?
Mm.
Unfortunately, when you get carried away and you're not doing things outside of that make sure that you're fit, unfortunately you fall. You start falling. Your body starts deteriorating. You start getting fat. Your food gets worse, right? Take away here, take away there. That turns into
Mm.
four or five, and then you're just But
Yeah,
then when you start this, you realize, hey, this is actually pretty simple, right? This is very, very easy. And like you said, it's what you're doing now. With time, it's only going to get better, right? In a year's time, you're going to be way better than now. I mean, imagine what you did in 3 months. Imagine what you can do in a year. Imagine what you can do in
exactly.
two. And as soon as you realize that, and as soon as that really clicks within you, then you're in this for life, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to be in this for life, and
Exactly, bro.
you don't
Yeah.
just want to do this for 3 months,
Mm,
And I
mm,
try to tell all of you guys,
mm.
try to tell all of you, look, I'm just here for a short period of time to make sure that you're on point and you're on track, but you gotta hold yourself accountable, and you gotta make sure you take this with you for life.
100%. These are life skills at the end of the day.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, of course. Nice, man. And what was the most challenging thing for you throughout this process?
Mm. Challenging.
Well,
It's
first tell them what was your goal, what did you achieve, and then
yeah. So far, yeah. So yeah, my goal was basically it's just like back before COVID when I used to go to the gym at my work. I'd be going gym like 4, maybe 5 days a week with my mates, and I'd spend like maybe an hour after work. So I'm like really tired, and I trying to like just do whatever exercises were available, whatever my mates were doing, or even if my mates weren't there, like I'd just be just doing random things. I felt like I had a plan. Like I'll do leg day and chest and then back and all this, but I was going for months and I was never seeing any results. You know, and I was getting a bit frustrated, to be honest with you. I was like, what's going on? And then when sort of COVID struck, I finally had a little bit more time to like get into cardio and stuff, which is great. And then that's why then so when I first spoke to you, I was actually quite skinny then because yeah, I was cutting basically. I was just doing cardio. I was actually fasting as well, intermittent fasting, and it was good. It
okay,
was it was it was fun, but I've realized now, right, my next goal was to bulk up basically, and I wanted to put on muscle mass, and this is something I've never been able to achieve before, and that's what I wanted to achieve with you. And yeah, so I think the plan was 5 kg in 4 months, and I actually achieved 5 kg in about 3 months,
yeah,
which is a bit mad. And like honestly, I didn't think because I'm even like 1 kg. Think about it, it's quite a lot of meat,
yeah. It's a lot of meat.
um, exactly, bro. So it's about being able with you. It was just about getting the advice and understanding what I need to do, and then being able to consistently execute that plan. Yeah, so it's about getting a plan and then being able to do it. So the hardest part I found was being able to how do I say making sure my other commitments that I was used to doing
Mm,
we're not getting in the way of then this new plan, because the thing is if I allow my old tasks, my whatever I used to do, imagine if it was working all day and then watching TV the rest of the day, and I never allowed time for anything else, then I'd never be able to execute this plan.
mm,
So it's about being able to not allow any distractions and planning the time in to do this you know so and yeah, and overall, I have been able to do this. You've got those 1 or 2 odd days where life does get in the way, but it's about having a vision and being able to execute that vision. Yeah, like laying out a plan for that vision, basically. Yeah, and this is it. So, and the great thing is, even if like let's say one day I might miss a workout, I'm always just like right, I've got to do it the next day. Like to be honest, on the day I'm just like, right, I need to do it. But you still need to put the time in to do it, you know. And then if it doesn't get done, then you gotta hold yourself accountable, and then make sure you do it as soon as possible. And that's the hardest thing I think, making sure you do that, because that's something I probably never did before. And then also then the meals as well, making sure I've got all the meals prepared, because I made a few mistakes once where I haven't planned the timing to make the meal, and then suddenly so now I haven't actually got the chicken or the beef that I should be having with the protein and all this. So yeah, it's about kind of setting up these habits to then being able to do this stuff like easily.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Look, I go through the same thing. I go through the same thing that you're just describing. I could relate to that. And even now, 10 years into this, you still get that. You still get
Mm,
the odd day where you're like, oh man, I missed my workout.
mm,
But the beauty is that you've set a habit now. You have a lifelong habit that will allow you to. Maybe you weren't able to do it today because of whatever reason, but tomorrow you'll be able to do it
yeah.
because you have the habit. And you said you hit it in spot on when you said you need a vision, you need a plan, right? I would take it a step further, and it's not just a vision and a plan, but you also need accountability,
Mm,
right? And accountability, you need to be accountable to yourself, but you need deeper layers than that. You also
mm,
need accountability from your peers, from your friends. You need accountability as a coach or a
mm,
partner or a guide,
mm,
right? You
mm,
mentioned that you were going with your friends for a bunch of times and you never got results. A few months, you never got results, and
mm,
maybe you were holding yourself accountable. You had the first layer, but you didn't have the second layer, which was a guide.
mm,
You didn't have someone who showing you step by step. It doesn't have to be a coach, but at least someone who knows or has been through the same process that you have.
mm,
And by having that level of accountability, and then you having a level of accountability which is an even deeper by telling your friends and your family, you're sticking your neck out, right? You're taking a risk. You're telling everyone, hey, look, I'm gonna do this,
mm.
right? And now you
Exactly.
put yourself in a position where you cannot fail.
Mm,
There's
exactly.
You can't fail because if you fail, you're gonna look like a
Yeah,
dickhead in
full.
front of everyone.
Yeah.
you know.
I'm like, that's the thing, because even if I fail myself and I'm the only one accountable, I might be like, okay, cool, it's not a problem. But if I know that someone else might think, he effed up, then that might be enough to make me want to do it. And exactly, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I think it was mainly you that kind of kept me going, if that makes sense. I didn't want to disappoint you. And it was just, yeah, it's just great having, because you pushed me and stuff, Mo, and it's really, really good, and yeah, that's about it, really.
Nice, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. I mean, look, man. You were executing, and you actually inspired me to actually even push you even more.
Mm,
I usually I push you to your ability, but I was pushing you maybe a bit more because I knew you can do more.
mm,
Simply that, and you were executing, and you were really into this, and you really wanted it. So
mm,
naturally, of course, I'm gonna make sure you do good. I'm gonna make sure I support you. I help you. This is my job at the end of the day. I mean, leaving all out of this, it is my job to do that, right?
yeah.
And so yeah, man. Like, well, thanks, man. This really means a lot, right? This is
Mm,
why I do what I do,
mm,
And to hear that is, of course, very satisfying. So thanks a
mm.
lot, man.
Yeah, no, honestly, 100%, I'd recommend you to all my mates as well, honestly, because you get results, and that's the main thing, And this is not just results for a couple of months, bro. This is actually results for years to come. That's
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Because what it is, yeah, it's not about, this sort of thing is not a quick fix. Yeah, you got to set the foundation in place, and then you're able to springboard from that. You know,
of course,
and that's how you actually get up, and you achieve your goals is by setting a solid foundation.
of
And
course,
that is what you are here for. You're setting a platform, and you're setting up these a framework to do this.
of course, man. Of course,
Mm,
yeah. Unfortunately, um, a lot of times when we start, right, we set a weak foundation we build a foundation on sand, right?
mm,
And that's the problem. That's one of
mm,
the major problems that I see is that people are actually executing. They're doing things, but the foundation is weak, right? They don't have a why. They don't have a short-term, long-term goal. They don't have the accountability system. They're not applying themselves correctly. They're
yeah,
doing it. Oh, I'm just doing it in a relaxed way. Unfortunately, when you do it in a relaxed way, you're gonna waste a lot of time. You need to do it with the right intent. It doesn't mean you need to dedicate all your life to it, but you need to do it with focused intention. And it's only then will you be able to get results. And
mm,
this focused intention starts with your foundation, starts with a solid foundation, with concrete, so that
mm,
you can build upon it. Like right now, the great thing about you is that you now have the foundation, right?
mm,
You've put in the work, right? You've laid the bricks one by one,
mm,
and now you can build the house. You can build the building on
mm,
top of it, and that's the beauty of committing in such a committing to this in like an intensive with like I say with focused intent. When
mm.
you committed to that, you build a solid foundation, and now you can build upon it. And now the sky is the limit.
Exactly, bro.
Now you can
Mm,
keep going on. Now Now it's endless, right? And the more you think you've gone closer, the more you realize, wow, there's so much more I need to do,
Mm.
right?
100%. Mm.
Like the dip, the you were struggling. I remember to doing one dip, right?
Mm.
I remember
Oh,
you struggling with one dip.
yeah, I remember.
Right. Now you're
I
doing
remember.
five, six, easy,
Yeah.
right? Check
Uh,
true coach.
I
Tell
did
me that.
8. I did
You
8
did eight.
yesterday.
Oh, boom!
I
You
was
did
well
eight.
happy with that. I was literally just thinking that what you just said. I was literally thinking, oh my god! I remember when I was struggling with this one, just one. I couldn't get up. Now I'm doing 8 in the first set, and bro, in a couple of months it'll be 18, in it. Do you get my point?
In a couple of
So
months
this is
after
it.
that, you'll put weight on. You'll put some
Yeah.
chains on you, and you're doing another 10. So
Exactly, man.
it's
So the
nonstop.
sky's the limit. The sky's
Sky's
the
the
limit.
limit.
You're right, man.
Sky's the limit.
Exactly, man.
Like try do that. And even that 10 reps. Let's say you can only do 10 reps. Well,
Mm.
try do 10 reps at how much are you? How much do you weigh right now?
I'm about 60 kg now.
60 kgs. So
Yeah.
try do that at 70 kgs. Try do that
Mm,
at 80 kgs.
mm,
Try do
mm.
that at 80, 83, 84 kgs. Just me right now.
Exactly.
I'm sometimes I struggle with 10 reps.
Mm.
Finally, I got to back up, but when your weight goes up, naturally you get heavier.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it gets a lot more difficult to do these body weight exercises. So it's endless.
Mm. It
It's
is, man. It
it
is.
never stops.
Mm. Exactly, bro. No, it's wicked, man. And do you know what? Like when you do it, you feel good doing it as well. And when
Of
you,
course.
especially when like, because what it is, or what you help do is, we set targets for each workout, and then when you achieve those targets, it's just such a great feeling.
Of course.
And it makes you want to push harder. And it's in fact it's the target that makes you push, if you know what I mean. And like so back a couple of years ago, I didn't have these targets. I was going for whatever weight, picking like whatever the biggest weight I could pick, and then maybe I wouldn't be able to do it as well in it. But I didn't have like a plan in the gym. You get me? And now I've clocked after all this time. I don't even need a gym to do this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
literally, all I got is rings, bar, and some resistance bands, and that's all you need. And it's incredible actually what you can do with some very inexpensive equipment.
Of course.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
and the sky's the limit, man. The sky's the
mm.
limit. Even with those equipment, the sky's the limit.
Exactly.
Try do a
Yeah.
handstand with bars. Try do
Mm,
they call it a flag with the rings. Like
mm,
all these things take
mm,
years of practice, and once you get there, you're oh that's when the fun starts.
mm.
You know.
No, exactly, man. Yeah.
But nice, man. Nice. Honestly, this is it's great to see you doing so well. And like I said, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Mm.
You've got a whole life ahead of you. You got transformations on transformations coming soon. So it's great, man. Honestly, and it's been a pleasure working with you. And hopefully we can continue this.
Yeah,
We can build upon
it's
this.
been great working with you too, mate. Honestly,
Likewise,
I
man.
would 100% recommend you to anyone.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for the podcast, brother. Thanks for coming
yeah,
on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And yeah, here we are. Have a great day, everyone.
cool. Thanks.